You were like, man, are these cubes going to come back radioactive, or what's the deal here? As much as I love running my own business, specifically SpeedCubeShop, there are certainly those moments that you just want to pull your hair out and crawl into a fetal position, and this is definitely one of those stories. So the way we ship is we ship until 1 o'clock on Saturdays, which is when the USPS makes their last pickup, in which case packages that build up from the second half of Saturday and all day Sunday go out on Monday, meaning that our pickups from Monday are typically heavier or have more packages than any other day of the week. So with that all in mind, a few weeks ago, we had what seemed like a pretty regular Monday, except the USPS missed our secondary pickup, meaning that at the end of the day, we had a few dozen, maybe just short of about 100 packages that had to be manually dropped off at a USPS sorting facility, which kind of seemed like it was a bummer at the time, but actually is a silver lining, which we'll get to a little bit later. So we ship out all of our packages, they're picked up, and we go about our lives. Well, over the span of the next few days, we start getting a few emails, live chats, phone calls of different customers saying, hey, my USPS tracking isn't showing any sort of updates. What's going on with that? And as sad as it is to say, that's not necessarily uncommon for certain USPS service levels. They're typically pretty good, but it isn't out of the realm of possibility for them to miss a scan here or there. We've actually seen packages that get delivered and never even indicated they were picked up from our facility, which is super weird, but the USPS is just a funky beast in and of itself that I don't even begin to try to understand. So that being said, we kind of wrote them off as, okay, well, you know, we talked to our USPS rep and they just said, hey, you have to pretty much wait a full 5 to 7 business days, depending on what the service level is, before we'll even take a look at it. So pretty much tell your customers they have to wait until that point. So based on our past experiences of packages that show up within that 5-day time frame and everybody's happy and goes about their lives, we took that advice and acted upon it. So it wasn't until a few more days that we started getting more and more complaints and noticed a trend that these are only for packages that went out on the same day with USPS that we're having this issue with. So then we started to get a little worried, and we try to be as proactive as possible here at SpeedCubeShop. So we start to dig into it and figure out what the heck is going on. So a quick shipping audit revealed that almost every single package that shipped out from our facility that Monday has no tracking updates whatsoever. But there was a very small percentage of packages that did, and it just so turns out that those packages that are showing the tracking updates are the ones that we reluctantly had to drive ourselves to the USPS sorting facility. So I guess that was kind of a blessing in disguise. So we continue our protocol. We're telling our customers, hey, you know, we're keeping an eye on this. We're monitoring it. We're talking to our USPS rep, but we can't make a formal claim until we're at the 5th business day in this case. So we're waiting, and then the 5th business day comes, and I'm just hoping more than anything that these packages will get delivered and they'll show up, or we'll have some sort of trackability for the packages. And afternoon comes and I don't see anything. So at this point, I'm getting pretty worried, and I call the USPS rep, and they're kind of feeding me the standard line of, oh, well, it hasn't been a full 5 business days, so you need to wait until the end of the day. So at this point, we were getting pretty antsy and didn't really want to wait for the whole end of the day and miss that day's shipping cutoff, because if we're going to have to reship all the packages anyway, I would rather have them go out that day versus making customers wait a whole another day. And that's the nice thing about, we offer a shipping protection, which allows us to act a little bit more proactively, so we don't have to wait for the whole claims process to conclude before we send out a reship. So pretty much I just did what I felt was right at that time, and we just proactively started reshipping hundreds of packages that had the shipping protection. And the ones that did have the shipping protection, we were gonna look at the end of the day and get those ones reshipped. So we have literally a few hundred replacement packages that are now out the door. We're happy, thinking that, okay, you know, hopefully the originals will be found and they'll be returned to our warehouse, and we can just, you know, use the cubes as mystery items or open boxes or even restock them if they're in good shape. And, you know, we'll have some loss there, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal, and we'll chalk it up as the cost of doing business and having good customer support. Of course, this is just a classic, like, Cameron instance, and my impatience can be good in some cases because I always mean well, but literally right after the USPS truck picked up these hundreds of reship packages, we get a call from the rep saying, hey, so we found out what happened for all of those packages. And apparently there was an environmental hazmat problem at one of the main sorting facilities that not only held up our packages, but thousands, tens of thousands of other packages, we're told. They were super vague as to what actually is an environmental hazmat problem, and I can only sort of be left to my own imagination as to what that could be. You're gonna probably be, you were like, man, are these cubes gonna come back radioactive, or what's the deal here? Now we're kind of in a bad position where we now have hundreds of replacement packages that are now in transit, and guess what? We can't get back the originals. The originals are also in transit. So by the time the whole thing was said and done, the customers that did not have the shipping protection got there. We were able to expedite the found packages and have them arrive in about 2 business days, which was pretty good, and we offered them some different compensation. A majority of them were kind enough to say, okay, you were proactive and you sent me out a replacement package, so I'm just going to go ahead and refuse delivery of the original when that arrives. It'll come back to us and we'll just be out for the cost of the shipping label and, again, chalk it up as a loss. So unfortunately, though, we found out that not everybody is quite so honest. And so there were quite a few people that were ignoring our communication on this and did not end up returning the original package, which I hate to say I get it, because I like to think that I lead a very, like, honest life and have good integrity. But whether I choose to believe that maybe they just didn't see the email and didn't notice that there were 2 packages, or it was a younger kid or something, but I couldn't resist just torturing myself further and running the numbers. And by the time we look at the original shipping label cost for the packages that went out and had to come back to us, and the cost of the packages that we sent double for, it was right in the neighborhood of $10,000 US. That was a total loss, which is extremely hard to stomach, especially during a year like this. So yeah, that was not really the best way to kind of end that week. But at the end of the day, I just try to look at it as, if you continue to treat people the way you want to be treated, and I would rather be proactive than reactive. And I guess, hey, if people got duplicate of their orders, maybe they're sharing them with their friends or family and getting some more people into cubing.